Welcome to Western Sydney, Australia's melting pot. Here, you'll find more than 50 different languages spoken, more than 35 different religions practiced, and 20 of Australia's 30 most culturally diverse suburbs. And there's one thing that's brought us all together. You've guessed it, it's a football club, Western Sydney Wanderers. I know what you're thinking, as if I'm doing an episode of my own club. But hear me out. I mean, if any other A-League club had managed to go from inception to continental champions after just 2 seasons, I'd probably be telling that story instead. Put simply, the Wanderers story is incredible and it's unlikely to be achieved again.
History will show you that any new club in any sport in Australia will pretty much fail.
It's an incredible David versus Goliath story.
We had no players, we had no training facility, no colours, no logo.
Red and black is what colour of my skin.
They played with no fear.
It's amazing. It is something that we'll remember for forever.
To understand the success of the Wanderers, we need to understand Western Sydney. In 1880, the first football club in Australia, Wanderers FC, was founded right here in Parramatta. And since then, the Western Sydney region has become a hotbed of football, producing about half of the players that have gone on to become Socceroos.
So of course, the biggest names that you can obviously identify with coming out of the West are, you've got Ante Milicic, Lucas Neal, Tim Cahill, Mark Schwarzer. It's almost as if there's no coincidence. There is something in the water down there.
If we look at the old NSL, a lot of the clubs, many that were based in the west of Sydney, were like a connection back to their homeland, I guess, if you know, their past.
I think it's something that they miss for a very long time, and the passion and the pride that you see from the people of the West is a perfect example of you know, how much we needed the game in the West.
The people have been, I believe, craving for something that they can all support and get behind. And it's not a Croatian club, Greek club, Italian club. It's one club.
When the A-League began in 2005, in this city, there was only Sydney FC. And while the club claimed to be a team for the whole of the Sydney area, many out west saw little appeal in a club based in the inner city. So in 2012, when the announcement for a second Sydney team was made, it was time for football to come home.
2012 was an exciting time. The Gillard government announced some funding in terms of assisting the development of an A-League club.
You know, it was, we want a team here, we deserve a team here, and this is why, because we are going to have a strong supporter base. We are going to invest and really look at identifying with the community and making sure that all the fans feel like they are a part of this team.
Yeah, we needed the community to engage in what we were trying to build. We wanted them to be a part of it.
There was discussions on the coach, there was discussions on playing style, who would you like to see coach.
And it was basically like, what colours do you want? Even thinking back then, the majority went red and black. We want to be based at Parramatta because it's central to the West. I think there was a Popovich chant that went up at the first meetups.
Having a blank canvas and saying build something from scratch is what really appealed to me.
You could feel the way it came about that it was going to be something special. It was going to be something that represented Western Sydney.
We had no players, we had no training facility, no colours, no logo.
And it was May. You know, pre-season starts in July. We knew the mountain we had to climb, but that was also part of the journey. That was also part of the challenge.
The difficulty we had at the particular point in time was that all the A-League players generally were contracted by the time that we came into existence. So the options were very limited. I had the left back coming and Tony thought it was a left winger or a right winger or whatever it was, and the player that came off the plane wasn't exactly the same player that we were talking about. There was another player from South America that was great. He was coming and he caught a connecting flight from Argentina to get here, and we never heard of him again.
I think I was one of 7 signed, and the whole process was still up in the air.
The rest were all trialists, so we had no team.
The first game was a trial game.
So the fans really had no one to support, but they came to support the club. You know, and we had 4,000 people there.
It started to dawn on us that actually, you know, this is becoming real.
At first, it kind of just felt like they were just another bunch of players happy to have a club, but then after a while, you started seeing the passion coming out. Even guys like Shinji Ono from Japan were like kissing the badge and stuff.
I remember picking up Shinji Ono from the airport. She was supposed to land on Saturday, and Tony said, no, I want him at training because he's, you know, we're losing days. It was only just before the start of the season. So I picked up Shinji and his agent, and Shinji goes, I'll go to the hotel. I said, we're not going to the hotel, mate. You're going to training. We get pulled over by the breath testing police at 8 o'clock in the morning. It looked a bit dodgy, but I had Shinji and a couple of Japanese guys in the back, and the back full of luggage. And goes, is that the Japanese guy that I've been talking? Hey Gary, hey, this is the Japanese guy. Hey, welcome, hey, you can go.
Was the premiership, was that something you envisioned or just trying to get through the first season?
If I tell you the whole truth, then I'll be telling you some secrets that I've told the players, but we were under no expectations in the first year.
So he won't tell you this story, but I will. And I get a chill still talking about it, because anyone sees it, okay mate, you know, right, well, let's be reasonable in what we're going to do. You know, everyone thinks we're going to come last. And he shows me this presentation, and no word of a lie. It says performance, points, league champions, and at the bottom it says champions of Asia.
How early was this in the stage?
There was nothing around. And he says, I want to show this to the boys. I said, hold on till we get 11 players.
The first few games in that season, you know, we didn't get a win in the first three, and as always in sport, there's critics that throw the question marks at you and doubt you. But we went on a great run, and very quickly a lot of people jumped on board.
All I wanted to do was just go to the game and support the team, and if we won something, better, you know, it was a bonus.
People had, you know, I think they were happy just to have a club in the first place, and then as momentum built and, you know, we started getting results, you know, it just grew exponentially from there.
The Wanderers' underdog status allowed them to achieve a season of unbelievable results and propelled them to the top of the league, giving them a chance to clinch the title in the final round.
How is it even possible that this is our first year and we're about to go up to Newcastle and potentially take the premiership? It was just ridiculous.
Ridge hits the first one in nice and early. He hits the second one in. Visconti hits it from outside the box. As soon as that went in, we just started singing Campeones for the last 10-15 minutes. Everyone's celebration.
The coach in particular, he knows nothing but to try and win. So it was always on the cards. It was always the plan and the ambition was to win, and to, I guess, prove everyone wrong just made it even a more enjoyable journey to push for.
No one expected the immediate impact the Wanderers would have. On the pitch, we made 2 grand finals in our first 2 seasons, losing them both, but it was in the stands and the community where the Wanderers and our fans were really making a mark.
When you walk through those gates into the RBB or even any part of that stadium, it doesn't matter, your colour goes out the window, your religion goes out the window, your sex, it's all gone. What matters is you're red and black in that moment.
Came to my first game against Perth and was just as hooked. Absolutely hooked. Done. Yep, season ticket, done. Haven't missed a home game since.
No one here, like, yeah, they pay attention to the game, but it's more them getting the noise, you know, being that 12th man. I think after that, I thought, this is insane. So I can see myself doing this, and like I said, sign up for a membership straight after.
Escalate with one drum, and then one other drum, and then another drum, and another drum. Before we know it, we have a whole band.
What we expect from our boys on the pitch is what we'll give off it. If we can give off it, we've seen numerous times the players will say it's that extra push from the fans that get us over the line for so many wins.
RBB has brought active support in this country to a whole nother level, which has been amazing. You see all the other clubs, they have lifted their levels.
Because what differentiates us between football, NRL, AFL is the atmosphere.
When you go to these games and you feel that atmosphere and you sit in that stadium, I mean, still after 3 years of covering the A-League and having this job, I still find it difficult to tear myself away from looking at those fans.
This is a thing called passion, which a lot of people look at and they don't understand. When you don't understand that, you mistake that passion for other things. There's nothing violent about it.
And, you know, even into our 4th season, I still get surprised when I see thousands of people at Newcastle. I see 2,000 or 3,000 people in Melbourne. You know, that for me just shows what a special club this is.
The Wanderers were the hottest ticket in town, but our biggest achievement was yet to come. In a tournament geographically we had no right to even be in, the Asian Champions League. Fear none, conquer all. That was the message on the RBB's kangaroo-clad tifo ahead of our first game. We took the lead in the first minute of that match, topping the group stage and setting ourselves up for a knockout stage filled with the continent's biggest and richest powerhouses.
And here we are in our 2nd year versing some of the biggest teams in Asia who are bankrolled by billionaires.
You know, we had all sorts of people writing us off saying, you know, maybe it's a step too far for us.
Playing well was not enough in Asia, and making any mistake in Asia, you will be punished.
What can you tell us about the drama off the pitch in China?
The eve of the game, people in the hotel trying to wake us up, knocking on doors.
Calling our phones, running up and down the hallway.
I was on another floor. I don't know, I was far away from the players, so I woke up in the morning, had a great sleep, and I saw all the players look tired. And
then of course the famous bus story that on the way to the game, the guy tried to crash into our bus pretty much, slammed on his brakes in front of us, we hit him, a bus hit us from behind.
That's another hurdle that we had to overcome, and we were very lucky that we had a very strong-minded group.
To see how far they went, not a lot of people expected. I don't even think they expected to achieve the level of success that they did.
That first game at home, they put up more of a physical fight than any team that we'd faced in the whole competition.
I've never seen Parramatta so full. We've seen it full for derbies, we've seen it full for semi-finals. This was just something completely different.
Wanderers fans have gathered a reputation for their loyalty and dedication, supporting the team wherever they went. So nothing, not even strict regulations, was going to stop them from going to the second leg in Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia, there's so many laws about what women can and can't do. Women aren't allowed to attend any sporting events, aren't allowed to go into stadiums or anything. When the calls started going out saying, is anyone interested? I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to go to. I was just like, it's never going to happen at Saudi Arabia.
And the whole time you had the support of the club.
People say that this is a family, but it's not until something like that happens and they are fully behind you. They get security, they contact ambassadors, they drive to the embassy in Canberra to give them my passport.
They drove to Canberra.
They drove to Canberra
just to make sure you could get to the game.
I walk out and there's just like 75,000 men just staring at me. But then we had security all around us. We had 3 types of police and then a private security team kind of around us.
And the Wanderers still in front on aggregate. Al Shalhoub,
They thought they had it sealed. They thought, this is a tiny club coming here and it's going to be an easy win. Halfway through the game, you could see them just boiling over.
I still remember sneaking out my little sister in the middle of the night, just so that we could be here for the 4:30 a.m. kickoff.
I would work night shift. I was telling him I wasn't feeling well and leaving no matter what.
It was full, people everywhere. You couldn't see a spot on the ground.
It wasn't going the way they expected to. They expected like a 10-0 rout.
It was just the most nerve-wracking 24 hours of my life.
Come on, you want to do it. Brought everyone together for this one moment where we had an opportunity to defy all the odds. To go between us and being champions of Asia, I'm going to try to do my best to video the reaction. I can't promise, but I'm in a tree, so hopefully I don't go too crazy. History being made in the western suburbs of Sydney. I think I started yelling out suburb after suburb after suburb, and it was us united. Erskine Park! St Clair, Colleton, Penrith.
I truly believe that we were going to have to score, and I believe we would. I believe 100% that we were going to win that title.
And then when that final whistle went, it was just the most euphoric feel. Blow the whistle! Yes! Yes! And it was just one moment where everybody felt that same high in that boom.
I just didn't expect it to be a 0-0.
And I look up and I see guys all crying around me. Big dudes, act all tough and everything, like, woo, just crying their eyes out.
It felt a little bit surreal to win something so prestige and so big.
The Western Sydney Wanderers, champions of Asia.
I don't think even then we appreciated just what they had gone through to achieve this. It was only sort of in the aftermath that you go, wow, this took some serious effort, serious courage, serious skill.
Prior to our success, there was only hope. Now it's been done, and it can be done. And we shouldn't have a limit on what we can achieve.
Went to the press conference after the game. They're the words that he said, and I said to him, when we get back to Sydney, we're going to put that on the wall.
But when you go back over videos and photos, you actually realise what we achieved, and then it slowly sinks in and you go, wow, it was something very special.
We're starting to outgrow our stadium. We've capped our memberships, and in a few years' time we'll expand and have a brand new home.
To know that a new stadium will be built, 30,000 people which can cater for more fans, more members.
As someone that was here from the beginning, and we were here, a handful of players in the first couple of weeks, doing our exercises in an empty function room because there was nowhere else for us to go, and using the toilets as change rooms. Always going to tell people the stories of how we first started.
Football is here to stay, and it's not only here to stay, but it's here to be, recognised as it is the whole planet over.
We're a team that just does the impossible constantly.
But what this club is, it's not only a football club. We represent the Western Sydney people on a global stage.
For me, I think this ranks the highest in terms of achievements from any sporting team in this country, without a doubt. 5
to 10 years, I believe we'll be right at the forefront of clubs in Australia.
What the Wanderers have done in such a short period of time is incredible. It's a testimony to what can be achieved when you treat all aspects of the club with the same respect, from the fans, the community, to the players and the staff. And they've done it without losing value or character with the success. When your foundation is that strong, your core is not going to be shaken, and you're only going to continue to build on that. But I, for one, know that what I'm doing right now, it would have never been possible if it wasn't for that. Fan, we have this awesome signed jersey. All you got to do to win it is comment below and let us know why you deserve it. It's been signed by that guy. It's been signed by him. All right. So comment below. Let us know why. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Proper 90. That's me. I'm out.